The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for Acumatica Summit, What to Know Before You Go. We are going to go ahead and get started right on time today. We are going to be recording the session. In fact, we already are, but please do feel free to ask questions in the questions panel as we go, and we'll try to address them either as we're going along or at the end. My name's Darcy Borio, and I'm with DAB Partners, and incidentally, I'm also a co-host of a podcast called Enterprise Software Podcast, and we're going to be recording podcast interviews with attendees live on site in Houston, so please do stop by the table if you see us and say hi. Anyhow, joining me today are Foy Maynor with Paramount Workplace, Johnny Girardi with DataSelf, and Patty Benitez with ATS Payments, and we also have Amy Keenan from Paramount Workplace on the call as well. We're going to give each of the presenters a chance to talk about why you might want to talk with them during the conference in just a moment. But first, we wanted to just take a minute because all four of us on the call attend a lot of conferences. And so we wanted to just give a few moments to share some tips about getting the most out of Summit with you all. So, and one of the best pieces of advice that we want to give you today in general is just to plan ahead. So Acumatica has planned a ton of great content and a lot of different types of content and activities for the attendees. So we recommend just trying to get a good cross-section of these activities scheduled. So one good one is customer panels. That's such a great way to hear practical real-life stories about how other users are benefiting from the software. And then attending the roadmap sessions is always great because you get to learn about all the cool new enhancements coming out that make Acumatica the fastest growing cloud ERP on the market. And then they're also doing a series of half-day training sessions. And I noticed some of those even offer CPE for those that need it. And then there's just different tracks for the different sessions. So you can kind of search based on your role and your industry for specific tracks of your interest. And of course, you don't want to miss the parties, right? So you can learn all about this and more at the site, or even better yet, I highly recommend that you go check out the app and download it. It's got a lot of information on there that you can really benefit from, and you can take it with you on site. So along that same vein of planning ahead, we know that conferences get really busy, and before you know it, it's over, and you didn't get to see all the people that you meant to meet with while you were there. So we always recommend that you identify the key contacts you want to meet with in advance and just schedule a time with them, even if it's just 15 minutes to grab a cup of coffee, just putting something on the calendar to make sure that you get together. And another part of the app is the ability to see the attendee list and connect with other attendees. So some of the types of attendees that you might want to meet with are, your Acumatica partner, or if you're a partner, we have some partners on the call today, your customers, of course, Acumatica team members, there'll be a lot of them in attendance. You can find them in the app, other users, and of course, sponsors. So your time is important. It's going to be very busy. There'll be a lot of learning, a lot of people to talk to. And so part of the reason we wanted to have this call today is that, the more you plan ahead for your time in the expo hall, the more efficient you're going to be and the more effective your time will be there. So rather than just wandering aimlessly through the expo hall and looking at people's booths and saying, what do they do now? We wanted to give you a preview of these 3 Acumatica certified solutions that are going to be sponsors there. So you can, if you're interested in learning more, go ahead and schedule a time and make plans to sit down with them and spend some time with them one-on-one and really find out more how their solutions might pertain to your individual needs. So with that, I am going to hand it off to Foy Maynor with Paramount Workplace, Requisition and Procurement and Expense Solutions. And then after that, Johnny with DataSelf, and then Patty with APS will present.
All right. Thank you very much, Darcy. I appreciate that. As Darcy said, my name is Foy Maynor. I'm with a company called Paramount Workplace. And Paramount Workplace has been in business since 1995. So for almost 24 years, we've been doing spend management solutions. And for our focus today, we're going to talk about the procurement solution that we offered that's integrated to Acumatica. This is a web-based or browser-based solution So I'm going to log in as a user, which is Foy, who has the ability to do a lot of different things within the Paramount Workplace application. And essentially, I do this to be able to show you in a single view a lot of the different features and functionality that we have. We can always take a closer look or a different breakdown in a separate conversation and also at the event. But what Workplace offers is a procurement solution that includes requisitions, so the ability to enter a requisition, get it approved before the purchase order is created, full purchase order management, including change orders with approvals if any changes are done, as well as receiving and invoice matching. So we do the entire procurement process within the Workplace application. It is integrated to Acumatica, so we are using the vendors and the GL account codes that are being used with that as the system of record, so that that information is being validated at the time of the transaction. And then once the invoice match is complete, then we'll also send that transaction over into Acumatica so that it can then be paid. So when you talk about a procurement solution, there's a lot of benefits for an organization, including make it easy for your employees to be able to enter what it is they need, the goods or services for their everyday business, allowing what they enter to be quickly and easily approved because of catalogs, vendor contracts, or the approval processes that you have in place, providing visibility across the entire process so that all of the users can see where their transactions are, what has happened to them, what needs to happen to them, and essentially answer some of their own question. And again, the integration is a key part as well, so that we're validating information, making sure that the information doesn't have to be rekeyed or re-entered once that transaction is complete. And we'll do that in several different ways. So right here on our screen here, one of the first things you see is catalogs. Catalogs are a key component to both ease of use for a user, but then also potentially for approval processes. If you have items that you can define within a catalog, that allows you to have those available to a user, have the pricing available to the user, and maybe even a particular vendor, so that when a user selects from the approved catalog, then you know that they're getting the right item at the right price from the right vendor. And there's internal catalogs. Internal catalogs provide a common user shopping experience so that you can see pictures and descriptions and pricing of items, click to get additional information, and essentially build a cart so that you're able to shop different items, so that you're able to shop different catalogs, pick those items, add them to your cart, and when you're done, review the cart, make sure everything's correct, update or remove anything that needs to be done there, and then create the requisition from that shopping cart. So again, that's an internal catalog. Benefits to internal catalogs, not only the common experience, the pictures, the descriptions, and the pricing, but then also the fact that you can set those up by department, by location, by vendor, by type of item, and have the flexibility there. And then again, create the requisition straight from that catalog experience. There's also a catalog called Punchout. Punchout is the ability to shop a vendor's website so that the vendor maintains the catalog for you as their customer. The benefits here are, one, the vendor maintains the catalog for you. Two, you're able to negotiate items and pricing with that particular vendor. And third, you're able to improve and enhance vendor relationships. One of the key parts of using a procurement solution, in addition to what I've already mentioned, is making the vendor relationships better. And when you're able to do that by interacting with your vendors, getting the orders to them quicker, paying them quicker, allowing them to deliver their invoices quicker, then you do make that possible. So many vendors support Punchout, office supply vendors, medical vendors, certainly Amazon supports Punchout as well as the protocol that is used in order to be able to transfer the information. So if I click on my Amazon for Business, it's going to go out to the Amazon site that is maintained for me as their customer. Again, very common look and feel to what you use in your day-to-day lives. That's very important because since it's familiar, it's easier to use. Except now when I shop, in addition to getting all the benefits that I normally get by shopping on Amazon, when I go to check out from the cart, it actually submits the items back through the procurement solution for approval. So you'll see when I click on that button there, it's going to go back, send that to the workplace system as an item on a requisition. You can now add additional items in different ways or different methods. But once you do that, it'll route for approval based upon the routing rules that you have set up. And then once it's fully approved, it'll create the purchase order. That will complete the transaction, and then they will ship you those items. So again, the catalogs are a key component to a couple of parts of the process and enabling you to make it easier for adoption for the user, as well as allowing the user visibility and access. And that's the next part that we're going to look at. Just below here are outstanding transactions. This is a dashboard view that will show you where the transactions are. Here's those requisitions that I just did that I didn't submit yet. Here's requisitions that may be waiting for approval, so you're able to see that, or requisitions that have been approved. So at a glance, I'm going to be able to see where my requisitions are, what has happened to them, what needs to happen to them, drill down, get additional information and additional details on those requisitions to, again, be able to answer some of my own questions without bothering somebody else about where that transaction may be in the process. So I'm just going to grab another one of my unsubmitted requisitions here to identify a couple of other key areas of functionality. First off, this is the requisition entry screen when you check out from a shopping cart on an internal catalog via a punch-out catalog, or if you also want to come in and free form enter items on a requisition. As a part of the requisition entry screen, you've got attachments at both the line and header level. You've got comments that are available. You've got full control over the configuration on what's going to be available for the user, validating information that is available to the user so that they only have access to the general ledger accounts or the vendors that you want or need them to be able to have access to, hiding information or making information read only so that it can't be edited or changed by that particular user, essentially enabling the user to have access to what they need, only what they need. And again, that adds an additional control as a part of the process. Once your requisitions are entered, we offer unlimited levels of approval, unlimited approval paths, approval by the information that's been entered on the line. A key part of that is that each line could be routed to a different approver for a different process based upon the department, the GL account, the expense type, the type of item, the vendor. So that enables you to easily enter the requisition, but still maintain your approval processes so that you're going to make sure everything gets approved before the purchase order can then be created. Email notifications go out, letting you know where those requisitions are in the process. So you're always going to have that information and that detail available to you. And then again, when you have your dashboard here, you're going to be able to see where those transactions are as well. Another key part of visibility is metrics and reporting that is available. So there's many different metrics that are offered. You can restrict these by user, so users only going to be able to see what they are allowed to, and then have visual or graphical representations of information for what you need to be able to see. So you're able to have quite a few metrics available out of the box. Additional metrics and reports can also be created in order to provide additional information and additional details. But again, this is about the visibility that's being offered throughout the entire process. Oftentimes we see disconnects between the purchasing department and the accounts payables department. Well, when you combine this information so that once accounts payable gets an invoice and they know about the attachments, they know about the approval process, they know about any quotes that may have needed to be attached, then they are able to quickly and easily do their job, which is match the invoice, make sure it's okay to be paid, and then get those payments processed. So visibility throughout the entire organization, across the entire process. In addition to being able to do that via your web browser, many of those functions are also available via your mobile device. So there's an app that works with Apple as well as Android that will allow you to add items to a requisition, shop catalogs. You can shop the internal catalogs here, very similar to what we did On the browser, you can build those catalogs. You can shop multiple catalogs and build those carts, excuse me. And then once that cart is built, you can leave it there and come back to it later, either within the mobile app or within the browser, because that information or those items would go to the cart on the browser. And then when you're ready to check out, either from the browser or from the mobile device, simply do that and a requisition will be created. You see in this example, we created requisition 180. Those approval processes that we mentioned are still available, whether it's been entered via the mobile app or the browser. Unlimited levels of approval, unlimited approval paths. You can also, as a user, approve via your mobile device. So if you have the ability to approve, then you'd be able to approve those requisitions. You'd be able to see the details of the requisition, including any attachments, and you can approve or disapprove with notes, all from the mobile device as well. And you can also have visibility to all the transactions on your mobile app. So we're extending the functionality from the purchasing and procurement side, not only through your browser and offering additional capabilities there, but also to the mobile app, so that while you're on the go, you can have access anytime and anywhere. Now, we do send out email notifications. So emails are another common method to be able to not only be notified, but also be able to approve. So this is the email notification that goes out when you have requisitions pending your approval. This is only one of the emails that go out. You can be notified when things are pending approval, fully approved, disapproved. But a common method or a popular method is to also be able to come in here, reply to this email. When you reply to the email, use your bracket here and put a Y to approve, an N to disapprove, or as I mentioned, very key, you can also approve and disapprove at a line level, and you can approve and disapprove with notes to the requester, whether you do this via the email or via the mobile device or also via the browser window itself. So simply send this reply and you would approve or disapprove there. So that's a little bit of the highlights of the functionality that's available within the procurement solution. If you visit our website, there is a procure to pay calculator that is available. It's under the calculate section under paramountworkplace.com. If you come in and you fill in some of the information based upon your organization, then we'll allow you to submit this and get an idea of the savings that could be in play. We do provide you with some averages so that you know what the industry averages are there. You also have the ability to play with any of those numbers. And then once you're done, you can submit. It'll give you an idea of those savings. As you can see, the savings can often be very significant in regards to the return on investment for a procurement application. And then you'd also be able to see additional information, additional details, and a report based upon that as well. So as Darcy mentioned, please take some time to schedule a meeting with us and or stop by our booth, and we'll be glad to provide you with additional information as well as additional details. And with that, I'll transition this over to Johnny.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, Johnny, I can hear you. This is Foy. I can hear you, yes.
Perfect. Appreciate it, Foy. Thank you. And double checking, can you also see my PowerPoint and my mouse moving?
Yes, I can, yes.
Foy, much appreciated. Good morning, everyone. My name is Johnny Girardi. I'm DataSelf's founder and CEO. And my take on this webinar is about reports, dashboards, and analytics. I've been in this industry for almost 20 years now, and Acumatica has actually one of the best reporting and dashboarding built-in capabilities. You know, I work with so many other ERP systems, and Acumatica has one of the best. So if you're happy with the reporting and dashboarding, you can skip my presentation. But if you want to learn more about it, learn about the possibilities and what kind of things we add to Acumatica, I think you'll find this part insightful. Let me move to the next screen. The first good news is, as of December last year, Acumatica Inc. Decided to retire their prior BI solution and adopt DataSelf as their in-house dashboarding, reporting, and data warehousing. So having Acumatica Inc. as our client has been a major reward for us to earn their business. So if you want to learn more why Acumatica is using DataSelf and if that can relate to your business, feel free to stop at our booth and talk with me. Here's a quote for one of our resellers. So if you are a reseller, Sean from CS3, they decided also in December to include DataSelf. I started a copy of DataSelf in every new Acumatica sale that they are, offering to the market. So just give a little insight from Acumatica Inc. as a user and as a reseller, why we're getting so much traction in the Acumatica world. Now, my specialty is in the business intelligence world. And sometimes people ask me, at the end of the day, why really I need a BI solution? Why isn't Acumatica's, built-in functionality is enough for some businesses? The main reason I tell people is most business people, people running the business, selling, building, managing others, they usually don't have time to learn complex reporting tools. But they are the ones who need information. They need to see what's going on. They need to be able to find information anytime, anywhere, maybe on a mobile device or by email. And if the tool is not easy, if the tool doesn't allow them to change the reports, to slice and dice, to build new ones from scratch, if the tool is not that easy, most likely, many times, these busy, smart people will have to wait to make a decision, or they'll have to wing it. And nowadays, waiting and winging it is no longer a good option when it comes to making good decisions. So really good BI tools should empower these people to become self-sufficient and do a lot more of the data analysis by themselves. So that's the main reason why you should look for a better BI if you're not happy with yours. Second, every time that I hear people telling that they're spending dozens of hours in reporting, it doesn't matter, maybe it can be daily, weekly, monthly. When I hear dozens of hours invested in reporting, that's usually when you start to look for a BI solution. Typically, good BI solutions can dramatically cut down the time that it takes to get reporting done. So labor intensive is another major problem that BI tackles. Finally, speed. Nowadays, if a report takes longer than 10 seconds to run, guess what? Most business people will not wait, and their report is useless. So if you have a report that's taking too long, and our threshold is 10 seconds is too long, most likely you need a BI solution to run reports under 10 seconds. Good BI solutions should run reports very quickly, no matter how much data you have, no matter how much users you have, no matter how much data consolidation that you're doing. So it should run fast. Now, when it comes to BI, there are two main ways to get quick ROI. One is if you're starting a BI from scratch, be sure to hire people that know the BI tool, that know your Acumatica and other systems, that know how to deal with business people and get the job done. So that's one approach to get good ROI from your BI investment. Option two is to look for off-the-shelf solutions like DataSelf. There are some others as well. DataSelf offers more than 5,000 reports and dashboards covering financials, sales, inventory, purchasing, payables, receivables, CRM analysis. So you don't have to start from scratch. On day one, you can get a lot for your decision makers. So those are two main tips to accelerate your ROI. This is a quick overview of how DataSelf works. This would be your data sources like Acumatica. You might have other systems like maybe Salesforce for CRM, inventory management, other tools. We bring the data to a data warehouse. We combine the data, we optimize the data, we make things fast. we plug this tool called Tableau, which is being considered the leader when it comes to ease of use on reporting dashboard for the last 6 years in a row by Gartner. So it's a very reputable tool, widely used in the Fortune 2000. And for users, again, we have more than 5,000 reports and dashboards showing all sort of different analytics from day one. No matter how much data you have in Acumatica, if you're moving from, let's say, a legacy system to Acumatica, maybe you have several Acumatica sites or several different ERP systems. The data warehouse is a way we find to make it easy to combine data, to consolidate, and to be sure when you run the reports, they run in seconds. We can deploy this whole system in the cloud, so completely SaaS. It can be hybrid. It can also be on premises. Now let's take a look how DataSelf works. So here I'm showing just Acumatica. I'm going to log in and I'm going to play the role of the CEO of this Acumatica site. So when they log in every day in the morning, typically what C-level people or overall decision makers want to see is what we call a 360-degree view of their business or of their area. You know, if I'm the CFO, maybe it is only financials. If I'm VP of sales, would be anything related to my sales metrics. This example is showing like a CEO kind of a dashboard. Looks kind of busy at first, perhaps, but the idea is to put in this dashboard things that decision makers really care and they want to see early in the morning. For the CEO in this example, let's say cash flow is something important. And this dashboard must allow them to do what is scenarios so they can quickly see changes, make decisions, and take action. For instance, in the cash flow, I can see all the receivables coming in the next 60 days. I can see all the payables and all the payroll, so money going in and out of the bank account the next 60 days. I can see how much money I have in the bank today. And when I add all of this, inbound, outbound money, I have the actual cash flow projection for the next 60 days. And as long as I don't cross the line of credit, I do not have a cash flow issue. Now, if I want to do a what if scenario, like, what if this payment is not going to come because a customer is disputing the payment? I could click here, I could say exclude and see what happens. Uh-oh, I just crossed my line of credit. This will cause me a cash flow issue. So allowing decision makers to take their dashboards and quickly, even on a mobile device, making these changes is critical. This dashboard has, cash flow, orders to ship, CRM information. CRM could be the Acumatica CRM, could be, Salesforce, could be Info CRM, doesn't matter. It's just data that we bring together. Receivables, revenues, Google Analytics data, financial information. In overall, again, the idea is to help make decisions. So if I have a red bar, it can be something not so good. In this example, my inventory is above the maximum on hand. As a decision maker, I want to know why and do I need to do something about it? So in this example, I'm going to click the red bar, and by default, the dashboard will drill down into details around inventory assets. In this case, show me also my top 10 products by cost on hand. And if they are red, it means I have too much on hand. And right here, I can tell that my West warehouse has just too much red bars. That's the aha moment. And now I want to take an action. I want to call the warehouse manager. I want to email to see what the heck is going on. In real life, sometimes, you have to figure out the phone number, the person's names, and, sometimes you get busy and you just don't do it. With this functionality, we can build actions into this dashboard that I click, let's say on the label, and right from here, I can email the person or call the person. And if I'm doing this from a mobile device, everything I'm showing can also be done from a mobile device. You can write on the mobile device, click the label, click call, any place of the call. So the idea is from aha to action to be easier, faster, because people are busy and every second counts to make them more effective. So this is an example of a dashboard that C-level kind of person or someone managing many departments might want to look at. If you are, on the other hand, a salesperson, to just reload the page here. If you are a salesperson, when you log into your Acumatica, most likely at the beginning of the day, what you want to see is something that would show a salesperson dashboard. So let me see if it's loading now, the salesperson dashboard, like this one. By the way, everything that I'm showing you right now comes out of the box, plugs and play to Acumatica. So as a salesperson, this example, I can see main metrics that I'm responsible for. I can see the center section opportunity that I'm supposed to be closing today. I can see the sales accumulated for the last few days. I can see commission accumulation, and I can also see hot performers and getting cold performers. The idea is if you're selling recurring items to customers or products, you just click a button like, who's hot? I click on the who's hot button, and now it shows me top sales this period by customer and top sales growth since last period by customer. Very intuitive, very quick. I can see by year, by quarter, by month, moving windows. I can see things on a map, who's growing, who's declining. I can see who's declining in sales, perhaps, instead of growing. Very intuitive. The last thing I want to show is financials. For many people looking at their P&L, it's pretty straightforward and they get it done. One of my personal challenges with P&L is usually every change that I do to a P&L, I need to close the P&L, apply a different filter, do a drill down, and I leave the original page. And sometimes I forget why I'm drilling down, why I'm in a different page. If I get a call in the middle of my analysis, I tend to lose the line of thinking. So we created this concept of the financials with single page analytics. The idea is to allow you to analyze your financial information and looking everything on a single page. So right now I'm looking at P&L in 2018. If I want to see by period, I just expand 2018, and there it is. I see by period with the total. What if I want to see by GL account? I can expand from these buckets and see by GL account. So without changing any page, I can see everything. Maybe I want to compare 2 years side by side. I just pick 2 years, and there it is. Maybe I want to see the budget and the variances. I just put budget and variances, and right there I have budget and variances. So single page, I do my whole analysis. Now, even if you want to drill down to see the postings, the credits and debits, you just pick some metrics like, hey, my travel is going down. It should be going up. I'm investing more. What's going on? I can choose travel. Right here is going to show on the same page. I still see the P&L. I see debits, credits posted. I can expand even further to go back to go down to the batch number, transaction dates, and all the details. And if I'm analyzing this number and I get a call and I get distracted, when I come back, I still see where I started. I see that I'm analyzing my travel. I see exactly where I stopped, all the filters, and that will help me much more quickly from, again, keep my line of thinking, get to the aha moment, and take action. So I just gave you a quick overview of how the out-of-the-box works. This can be highly customized, of course. Price-wise, we have 3 different editions. So the pricing is supposed to be kind of affordable to get the feet wet. And if you want to learn more, and you want to learn why Acumatica Inc. and some other companies are using DataSelf internally, or if you're a reseller, why you should embrace DataSelf, please schedule some time at Summit, and I look forward to meeting you all. And that was my part. Now I'm going to pass along to Patty, I guess.
Thank you so much, Johnny. It was very informative. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the information being provided today is extremely powerful. You can take control with Paramount Workplace of your requisition, procurement, and expense management. With DataSelf, they have the powerful visibility through their business intelligence and data warehousing tools. And then, of course, now remaining is credit card processing. How exactly can we help, and what does this have to do with the presentation today? Let me begin by mentioning the fact that we will offer a training session to allow you to understand how to obtain the best rates available in the industry at absolutely no charge. We typically begin with level 3 processing. Level 3 processing is a program that was put in place by Visa MasterCard, which basically allows you to obtain the lowest rates available if you process a business-to-business or business-to-government transaction within the continental U.S. It typically cuts the rates in half. Visa MasterCard requires 13 to 16 data fields in order to provide you with the lowest level 3 rates. And you can see the data fields that are being required on the screen. What we have done is we have written an integration that will actually pull the data from Acumatica, deliver it to Visa and MasterCard on your behalf, and that way we can obtain the lower rates. On the screen, you will see the typical savings when we process through level 3 processing. It can be an average of almost $17,000 per year, and this is on the lower side. We've actually seen a savings of over $112,000 per year. Now, many people will tell us, why not just process through authorized.net? I'm comfortable with it. It integrates with Acumatica. On the screen, you will see a quick comparison between authorized.net and APS payments. You can see that there are different fees that we do not charge, but most importantly, aside from the fees, we offer level 3 processing at absolutely no charge. Level 3 processing is not available when processing through authorized.net. And then, of course, our brand new introduction to the Acumatica ecosystem is Click to Pay, and I'm going to be showing you a little bit about Click to Pay today. Now, we also integrate to several e-commerce solutions as well as mobile solutions, and you can see some of them on the screen. Our newest integration is with Kenzian with their Acumatica Order Sync. And then, of course, Click to Pay allows customers to pay using either credit card processing as well as ACH. It also includes level 3 rates. Now, there are several other advantages of our solution, and you can see them on the screen. Mostly the fact that we do not charge for the integration. We do offer level 3, 12-hour funding, American Express Opt Blue, free PCI support, 24/7 live support, fully integrated EMB and chip functionality, as well as Click to Pay functionality. Now I'm going to jump over to my demo system and just walk you through how Click to Pay will eventually work for you. So as you can see, I'm in receivables. And we've added a menu item called Click to Pay Setup. It's very simple. You get to choose if you'd like to allow for credit card processing as well as ACH, or choose either one of them. You can also decide to opt in or opt out by customer, and you can always make the change per customer as well. Now, what I did while we were presenting, while the other members were presenting, I actually created an invoice. And what I'm going to do now is jump right into my invoices and memos to show you how easy Click to Pay will work for you and your customers. Now, this is your side of the equation where you create the invoices. By the way, Click to Pay is available not only for invoices, but also for sales orders upon our initial release. Once you've created the invoice and released it, you're going to notice, and I apologize, I'm trying to get rid of my GoToMeeting, here it is, icon here. You'll notice a Click to Pay link. Now, we are giving you the option to use the Click to Pay as a native enhancement to Acumatica, or we will also give you the option to use the Acumatica portal. It's entirely up to you. If you decide to use the Click to Pay link, it is absolutely free. We offer it to all of our merchants at no charge. So now that I've created my invoice, let's go to the end user side of things. Now your customer will receive either a link or an invoice with a Pay Now button. Once they click on that invoice or link, they will be able to see their invoice with line level detail, and click on the Make a Payment button. When they click on the Make a Payment button, they will also be able to see a list of invoices. So it doesn't have to be by individual invoices. You can actually send them out a full statement, a full list of invoices, and they will be able to make their payment. They can always pay the full balance or a custom amount. They could enter a brand new credit card or bank account number, save the payment method, use a previously used payment method, and continue. In my case, I'm going to go ahead and type in a card that I've used before and the CVV number. Notice how simple it is for your customer to make their payment, and click Submit. Once your customer clicks on the Submit button, the transaction goes through our secured gateway, processes the transaction for you, and let me show you in Acumatica where this transaction will end up. So let's just say that we have processed everything now, or the customer has sent the payment. You will have, as you can see, and I probably should have pointed it out, process click to pay payments right within your receivables. And you'll see all of the payments that have been processed so far. Now, you will have the option to choose one by one or to choose all. And you will also have the option to automate your collections. So you can actually set it up to send out your invoices automatically and schedule, or use the standard functionality from Acumatica as far as automating your schedules. So ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, click to pay is very straightforward, very user-friendly. I will be presenting at Acumatica Summit. Also at Acumatica Summit, we have several other items that we really do not want you to miss. First of all, the AcuConnect. Learn about it. Come and join us. AcuConnect is a new networking community being launched for the Acumatica channel that will help facilitate education, shared resources, and collaboration between ISVs and resellers. What does this mean to you? We have a group of industry experts that are open to providing you with free training on each one of their subject matter experts or expertise. Do not miss the session where you will be able to meet the founding members and sign up as a partner to become a part of AcuConnect. Monday, January 28th at 2 p.m. The session ends at 2:20, and as you can see, it will be at the David Mitzner Room on the 4th floor of the Marriott Marquis. Now, what else is going to be happening at Acumatica Summit? Pick up your button from booth 235, which is the APS Payments booth. We will be offering money prizes to anyone that is wearing the APS Payments button and is seen by an APS Payments employee. It's that simple. Stop by, pick up your button, and we will give you cash if we see you wearing it. Also, if you are at a bar during our happy hour and you're having drinks, the drinks are on us so long as you're wearing the button. So don't forget booth 235. And last but not least, we are giving away $2,500 along with our ISV partners. As you can see, the ISV partners are listed here. DataSelf and Paramount Workplace are definitely a part of this. So make sure to stop by each one of the vendors that you see on the screen right now. There will be 3 different prizes, $1,250, $750, and $500, all to be announced on Tuesday at 12:45 at booth 235. And with that, I'd like to hand it back over to you, Darcy.
Wow, that's pretty exciting, Patty. I'm excited about somebody winning that money. That'll be really cool. Okay, I'm going to show my screen again with the contact information for the presenters. Click to pay, very cool as well. A lot of good stuff today. Thanks, everyone. So I'm looking, I'm not seeing any questions in the questions panel. I will give a moment or two, but other than that, I've got up on the screen each of the contact information for the presenters today. If you'd like to reach out to them and schedule a time to get together and kind of learn more how these solutions can work for you and your business, please do reach out to them. I've also included their booth numbers just in case you don't get a chance to connect with them, but I would strongly encourage you to do so in advance if you can. And again, get the app. The app's really great. It's a wealth of information. Get in there and interact and follow the feeds, and we will look forward to seeing everyone at Acumatica Connect in Houston. And thanks again for your time today.